At Glenn Ross, UG5JM asks, how long does it take to train and strengthen your tendons? Because I've been doing it 8 months. We're going to be discussing that in this video. So, how long does it take to train and strengthen your tendons? Truth be told, that's a really difficult question to answer because technically anything that you do is going to train your tendons to some extent. And because you didn't really provide a specific goal as to or where you are starting from, it's really hard to speculate on what exactly that goal is. Now, one of the mistakes that I think people make when they're asking questions like this or going with the intention of like training tendons specifically, one of the things to understand is first, tendons get like 10% the blood flow that muscles do, right? But when I'm training, and this is something that I also would recommend for you guys, is try not to go specifically for your tendons, because to me, strength is strength. When I'm strength training myself, it's going to be strength training my tendons. It's going to be strength training for my muscles. It's going to be strength training for my central nervous system. It's going to be strength training for the mind. When you provide a stimulus to your body, you know, it's a basic SAID principle, specific adaptations to imposed demands. Now, what those specific adaptations are going to accumulate into is going to be the various structures involved with whatever it is that you're doing. It's going to come in the form of muscle growth. It's going to come in the form of tendon growth. It's going to come in the form of thickening the myelin sheath that encases that neural flow. It's going to come in the form of central nervous system potentiation, being able to activate more of the existing motor units. And it's going to come in the adaptation of convincing that your mind that you can do it. Trying to go after one of those individually seems to be a wasted effort because there's not going to be any way to specifically target the tendons without specifically hitting the muscles. And I don't even see a point in doing that because to me, stronger is stronger, whatever it takes to get there. Now, having said that, sometimes with certain protocols, your tendons might start to complain, in which case I would switch to a different protocol that would prevent my tendons from complaining. As an example, for a while last year with the volume I was putting up on chin-ups, my elbows were starting to complain, in which case I took myself temporarily off of chin-ups and focused specifically on isometrics, because without any specific movement, there isn't really any joint abrasion, which would give my tendons a chance to calm down. And then when they've calmed down, I switch back to a volume-based progression with chin-ups again. And I've recently done that, and my elbows feel completely fine. Now, if you've been training your tendons for 8 months, your tendons are probably pretty decent. And I would probably switch your training protocol to something that is going to something different. Because one of the things also with the way training works is there's something called the Law of Accommodation, in which case your body figures whatever this stimulus is, it's not going to kill me, so I don't need to continue to adapt to it. That's one of the reasons that periodically you have to change the various variables within your training program. But a lot of times people think that you have to do like a complete program overhaul. You don't. You just have to change something with the program. And I know it wasn't a specific answer, but I hope that answers your question. If anybody else has any questions for me, drop it in the comments below and I'll try to get back to you with your very own custom video answering your question. And if you like this video, let me know by hitting that like button. If you want to see more of this sort of thing, subscribe to the channel. You can also see the various chronicles from my various performances across the country. If you think anybody should see this, please share it with them. This YouTube thing isn't rocket science. And if you want to support the channel, do all the things that I just mentioned, or you can pick up a copy of my book in the comments below. That chronicles my story becoming a modern day performing strongman and the things that I learned along the way. And you can also continue to support the channel by picking up some coffee from Good For You Coffee Club. And if you do that, use the promo code MyPower10 to save 10% off of any order that you use it for. But in the meantime, please stay tuned for the next video and stay happy, healthy, and strong. Eric Moss, over and out.